Hello everyone! My name is Jennifer State. This is Coloring Bliss and a very special live event. We have a really exciting new program to launch today and I'm so excited to have you here. We have a question for you. Do you wish that you could pick colors with more confidence? Do you wish that you had more control over your colors and you understood color better? Do you know what a mother color is, what a tint, tone, and shade is, and where do browns come from, or where does pink come from? Are these the kind of questions you've always had and you wish you had more control over your color as you're working on art projects and coloring pages? Well, this new program that Coloring Bliss is launching today is for you. I am so excited about it. We have a giveaway that we are starting today to celebrate the launch of the new Bliss color picking system. And the greatest thing about this whole thing, I think, is how affordable it is. And you're getting digital downloads and over 10 hours of video training that comes along with the digital downloads. I've got you covered. All the worksheets, all the color wheels, everything you need, including all of the video training that you could possibly want to help you through all of these wonderful worksheets. It's all here, and by the time you go through all of it, you're going to be a color picking pro. Isn't that exciting? It's so cool, and I can't wait to show it all to you. It's all right here in front of me. I've been working on it. Steve and I have been working on this new program for you for several months. Lots of hours of work and research have gone into it, and we are finally ready to release it to you. So exciting. We even have a printed version that you can order through the Coloring Bliss print shop, or if you want to download it and get your hands on it immediately, you can do that too. So let's get started. Let's talk about it. The first thing I want to tell you about is the giveaway. Now, you have a full week to get in on this giveaway. And if you're watching this video later, don't worry, we have lots of giveaways going on here at Coloring Bliss. So just make sure you subscribe and you hit that little like icon, because that means that I know that you enjoy this kind of content. So take just a second and hit that little like button for me. Thank you so much for doing that. It really helps our channel. So let me show you what I'm going to give away. That is this beautiful case. This is one of my most favorite pencil cases right here. I'm going to show you why in just a minute. It really works well with the Bliss color picking system. This is a case by Global Art. We're not sponsored by Global Art. I bought this case because I wanted to give it away to one of you. I have 3 of these cases that I've been using for years because they are so great, and I want to make sure one of you has a chance to try it out. So hit that button in the description of this video and you can follow the link and have a chance to win this case. There's lots of different ways to enter, so make sure you get in there and get in for your chance to win this case. I'm so excited that one of you get to have this case, and you can pair it with the Bliss color picking system and see how fantastic it works. So let me show you finally the Bliss color picking system. We started this video out over on Facebook, but usually we spend about an hour for our live events over on Facebook and then an hour here with you on YouTube. But today I didn't want to be interrupted halfway through our big launch, so I decided, you know what, let's do the majority of it here all on YouTube so that we can have a good flow as we are answering your questions and showing you this amazing new Bliss color picking system. So let's get started. I'm so excited to show you. I'm kind of like, which element? What should I show them first? This is so exciting. One of my favorite things about this is how affordable the Bliss color picking system is. All you need to do is become a Bliss colorist, a Bliss apprentice, or a Bliss partner. There's 3 levels over on our Coloring Bliss website to become, and you get access to it. The cool thing is, to become a Bliss colorist is just $5. So hours, over 10 hours of video training, $5. And you also get access to all these worksheets. And you're going to see, this is massive amounts of worksheets that you get to download, and you have access to it. You also, for that $5, get access to all of the coloring pages, the premium library coloring pages, and so much more. You're going to be blown away how far this $5 goes. And not only that, but you also get a discount over in the Coloring Bliss print shop for this $5. So if you decide, you know what, I want the full color picker, the quick color picker printed, and you can do that. And for your $5, you get a discount over in the print shop too. So I mean, that little $5 goes a really long way, and pretty much you're gonna get it back really easy. So I love that, how affordable this is. So okay. What should I show him first, Steve? I'm like...
Do you want to start with the end in mind?
Okay, so I think that's a good idea. Steve said maybe we show you the complete vision, and then we'll back up and show you how we got to this place. Should we do that? So let's start with the quick color picker right here. This is what happened was, as we were creating the entire Bliss color picking system, we kind of ended up here. I said, you know what, Steve? It would be fantastic if we could offer them a full color version that they don't have to do any work. We just offer them this full color version and they have it in their hands, and immediately they're picking colors. They don't have to color anything or cut anything out if they don't want to. They're just immediately picking colors, and they can either download this and print it at their leisure in their home on whatever paper they want, or they can order it from our Bliss print shop and have it all perfectly color balanced and everything by us and shipped to them on beautiful paper. And Steve was like, that's a fantastic idea. So that's how the quick color picker was born. So let me walk you through the quick color picker, and that will give you kind of like the end vision, and then I'll show you the rest of the elements, because there's a lot to show you and it's really exciting. And like I said, you get access to all of it just by becoming a Bliss colorist. So let me bring this around. I've got so much here. So many fun things. Okay, so there. All right. This is the quick color picker, and this is the printed version. So if you decide to order it from the print shop, it will come like this on the beautiful paper. It's got the board on the back to make it nice and rigid and really usable and handy for you as a reference source. I've got pens here from another project I was doing. Let me move those out of the way. Okay, so it's a full color reference guide. So let's just, go through it together and you can see everything that it comes with. So first thing off, you're going to get 5 steps to picking colors quickly. And all of these things, like I said, are all covered with the video training. So I'm going to teach you how to do all of this. You're not going to be left alone with a strange color wheel with strange terminology that's hard to understand. Nope, I'm going to teach you and help you through all of this. So don't be worried about that. Okay, then you get this beautiful color wheel. And like I said, the advantage to having us print this for you, it's all been color balanced. Steve, I don't know. Steve spent so long. We have a really high-end printer that we do all of the coloring, all the printing here at the Bliss print shop, the Coloring Bliss print shop. And he spent a lot of time trying to get our printer to talk correctly to our computer so that yellow really looked like yellow. Sometimes when you print to your printer, yellows don't look quite right or reds don't look quite right. So he worked really hard to get all of the colors balanced correctly. So that's the advantage of having us print it for you, is it's about as true as we could make it. Steve's
having
like
an offset press, $1 million offset
$1 million press. Yeah. So it's about as true as Steve could get it. And oh boy, did he work. I can't believe how many times you ran those stairs.
Got my exercise.
He did get his color exercise. Okay, so the first thing you get is a beautiful color wheel, which you're going to need and you're going to want. Okay, then we're going into these are the premium, this is the premium color scheme selector. So Once upon a time, we came up with the Premium Color Scheme Selector, and this is the updated version of the Premium Color Scheme Selector. So if you've seen it before, if this looks familiar, it is familiar, but it's been updated, it's been refreshed, and it's new and ready for you to use and love and make it for a useful tool for you. And this is the full color version as well. So you get everything full color, you cut it out, all of the instructions, like I said, video help is all there for you. As you move through this book, it's all there. So you get to cut all of this out on really good paper. So once you do cut it out, it's going to be very rigid and useful. It's not going to fall apart. What I was thinking for my book, because this is my copy here, I'm probably going to take some sort of a folder with a clasp, not a folder, an envelope with a clasp, and probably glue it into the back. And then as I cut out my wheels, I can put the cutout wheels into that envelope in the back, and then I'll have it in here always where I need them, and I won't lose them. That's my plan right now. Okay, so you get all of the wheels. These are color scheme wheels that once you cut them out and cut the circles out, they lay on top and correspond with that beautiful color wheel on the front. So that's how this works here. Okay, so you get lots of different color schemes. Look at them all. They're so much fun. And then you get into the full color reference guide. And the first thing you're going to see is the Tritone sets. And look at this. This is so exciting. So here you're seeing the Tritones in a new way that we haven't shown before. This is each of the 12 colors on the color wheel, and they're broken into light, medium, and dark tones. And the idea here is that you will be able to, with whatever tools you have, color match and try to find as close as possible. Let's say you're using green, you'll be able to find a light, a medium, and dark that is as close as possible to these three greens. So we've got a reference guide here with all the colors, and gets you started. You don't have to, what is a light green? You don't have to ask that anymore. We have that color right here, so you can see it. It's not a vague thing like light green. What is that? It's hard to wrap your head around that when you first start studying color, but here it is. And you can see the difference between what light green is and what light yellow green is. It's here now. You can see it, touch it. It's there. It's so great to have it actually in front of you. And you can see the difference between green and yellow green and blue green, and actually start to train your eye and see these colors side by side. So fantastic. Okay, so here is the Tritones. Okay, then the next thing we're going to see in the full color reference guide are the Tritone sets laid out in light tones, dark tones, and medium tones. So these three wheels, again, it's all about training your eyes, looking at the wheels and seeing them and starting to understand and see how these colors work together. And again, the video training is going to help. There's color theory training that's approachable color theory. It's not scary color theory or color theory that doesn't really apply because it's more like color theory for watercolorists. This is color theory for colorists. And how does it apply to color pencils? How does this color theory apply to markers? That's the kind of color theory that the video training contains. It's really fun color theory. At least I think it's fun. Color just inspires me and gets me excited. So I love teaching color theory. Okay, the next thing in our full color reference guide is a strip of colors. This is a swatch strip that can help you organize your tools as you start pulling them together. You can cut this out, and if you have, where's my book? If you are lucky enough to win this, or if you own a case, any kind of case, these strips work really good inside your cases, your pencil case. Let me show you how I have mine with my Prismacolors right here, so you can kind of see how these work. So you lay the strip in here, and this is a sneak peek of something else I'm going to show you here in a minute. This strip is actually brand specific. That's right. When you get this system, you're also getting bonuses, and the bonuses are brand specific. This one is set up for Prismacolor. So I have light, medium, and darks for each of the color wheel colors for the Prismacolor Premier pencils. And that's part of what you get when you purchase the Bliss color picking system as a Bliss colorist, apprentice, or partner. You get the Prismacolor pencils. There's more that you're going to get. I can't wait to tell you. But that's what this one here is. This is the brand specific Prismacolor ones. So this one in this book are not brand specific, they're generic and just a light, medium, and dark of each color. So you could apply this to your Crayola pencils, your Copic markers, your Tombows, whatever you have handy. You could get 36 different tools and have them correspond to this strip right here in a case. And then they're ready to go, ready to color with. Okay, now we're getting into something brand new, and this is where the vision of this new Bliss color picking system expands and gets really different and exciting. This is something that I haven't seen anyone do before, and this is just really exciting. Okay, you ready? Okay, the next 12 pages is really good. Steve's smiling too. He's excited for you guys to see this. Okay. So, are we ready for the reveal?
We are ready.
Okay. I feel like we need drum rolls or trumpets going off or something. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Okay, there are 12 pages now, and each page corresponds to a color on the color wheel. Okay, so there's 12 colors on this color wheel. Yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green, like that. And there is a color for every color on the color wheel. So let's have a scenario. Let's say I want to color a rose, and it's I usually use a red rose as the example. Let's do a pink rose. Okay, oh no, pink is red. Let's do an orange rose. Okay, so the idea here is I know what my dominant or mother color or main color is going to be. It's going to be this main big beautiful rose in the middle of my page, and I want it to be an orange rose. So I'm going to switch to the orange page. See, look at all these beautiful colors. Oh, be still my coloring heart. Okay. Here is the orange page. So I switched to the orange page. The cool thing about this is if I don't want to bother with all these wheels back here, these wheels, this is like a shortcut. Okay, so we've got all the orange color schemes that those wheels would have shown me all on one page. So now I know, okay, I want an orange rose, and here they are, all the possibilities. Well, technically there are more color schemes out there than this, but this is all the color schemes that our color scheme selector would have shown you. That's what I'm saying here. So here they all are laid out in full color beauty, and I can just look through and go, look, which one looks really pretty to me today that I want to color that rose with? You know, it's got a green stem, so I probably want something with a little green. These ones down here have some green, and ooh, that's got violet. You guys know I love purple, so that's kind of calling my name. We've got the orange rose with a green stem and a little purple in there too. That's pretty. Oh, but look at that square tetradic. Now we've got maybe a blue sky with the yellow green stem and the orange rose and a little red violet. Yep, that's the one right there. So right away I've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different color schemes all around the dominant or mother color, all right here. Isn't that cool? Isn't that beautiful? I mean, that's like a shortcut to 12 color schemes right there. And 12 times 12 is what? I forget.
144.
So that means on these 12 pages, there's 144 different color schemes waiting for you to pick from. Isn't that cool? It's so exciting. And the cool thing about this particular reference guide is that it's not brand specific. So now I can take this one that I picked right here, and I know I need a red violet, a tritone with red violet, a light, medium, and dark. And so now I would flip back to this reference page back here. And like I said, the colors are right there. Where are you?
Before the color was there.
There we are. So now I can come back here and go, okay, I need a red violet. This says I need a red violet. So I need to pick something close to that, and close to that. And I know I'm going to get a good blend every time I use that red violet color. And I'll do the same thing for orange, the same thing for yellow green, and the same thing for blue. And in the end, I'll have 3 times 4 is 12 pencils, and away I go. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to show you another shortcut here in just a second. But that's the idea of how this page is going to help you pick your colors faster. So cool. Look at all the different, look at that. Oh, I keep saying blue-green is really calling my name lately.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Blue-green is really calling my name. I think I need to do a blue-green page. Look at them. They're just so delicious. So pretty. Okay, so that's this section. Now let me show you the next section, because that brings us to what I was just about to tell you. Here we have a color reference guide, swatch pages. I talked to you a lot about swatching, right? So here we have all of those same colors. There's the red violet that I was just saying you will need a light, medium, and dark for red violet. So let's say you have a beloved set of markers. Maybe you invested in the new Ohuhu brush tip markers. Or maybe you have your favorite Crayola color pencils that you love, because the Crayola color pencils aren't that bad. So maybe you have that 50 set of Crayola color pencils. What you can do now is go through that 50 set of Crayola color pencils and find, let's say you find the perfect match to this number 20 red violet light. So what you'll do now is switch to the blank swatch page right here, and you're going to swatch out that perfect pencil you found in that Crayola set. Swatch it out, write the name down, write the number down, so that you'll always remember that that pencil matches 20 red violet light. And then keep it handy and use the swatch strip that we provided, wherever that went. I keep losing track of all the pages. You saw it though. Use the swatch strip and put it in a case similar to this one, and you'll have all 36 of your tools eventually all picked and laying out ready for you. And then when you do come in and you pick your orange color scheme and you know you need red violet, you don't have to go hunt for those 3 colors anymore, because you've already picked and swatched the perfect matching tones for your red violet. You've got it logged back here in these swatch pages. We've provided 1, 2, 3, 4. We provided 4, or is it more than 4? 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 blank swatching pages back here, so you can test and, no, that red violet's not quite right, but that one is. You can do all of that testing back here until you find all the right matches, and you've got them all labeled and ready back here, and you can have all your colors picked quickly and accurately, and away you go for any of the colors that you pick, any of these color schemes. It'll all be quickly picked and ready to go. That is how this system works. That's the big vision of how the Bliss color picking system works. Isn't that exciting? So you can get this either as a digital download that you can print off at your leisure right now, just for $5. Isn't that cool? By becoming a Bliss colorist. If you're already a Bliss colorist, guess what? you have access to it right now. You can follow the links and go download it and you're good to go. Or you can order this book and have it sent to you, all color balanced and ready for you to start using just as I described. So that's pretty cool. I believe this book is how much, Steve?
$24.99.
$24.99, and like I said, it's printed on a really high quality paper. It's going to come to you beautifully. If you become a Bliss colorist or apprentice or a partner, you'll get a discount off of that. So make sure you check that out so you can get a discount on any printed goods that you purchase from Coloring Bliss print shop. Okay, so that is the printed version of this book here, but that is not where all of this ends. Let me show you what else you get when you get the Bliss color picking system, because we just started. This is just the beginning. This is so cool. Okay, let me flip the cover over here. Okay, so that's the quick color picker, and we call it the quick color picker because it's full color, ready to go. It's quick. You're good to go. You pretty much don't have to do anything. If you want to cut out some things, you can, or you can just skip to the back and start picking colors immediately. That's why we call it the quick color picker. Okay, Steve named it that. I think it's great. It's perfect. The quick color picker. So let me show you the other elements that come with the Bliss color picking system. Okay, let me show you. That's where this bag comes in. All right, this is all the downloadable content. All right, Steve just printed these for me today, so these are hot off the press. All right, we've got different sets here. Look at this. Oh, I almost showed. This is so exciting. Okay, I'm going to show this first. Okay, so these are, these are. It's plural, so these are
the worksheets.
These are the worksheets. I've realized that my grammar is slipping a little bit, so I'm trying to retrain myself to use correct grammar.
Now, if you want to start with kind of step one, if we're going back to the beginning,
True.
It's all based on this and the premium colors, the artist color wheel, so you could use that there to kind of show them.
So, yeah, now I wish you could come over here and tell that vision of how, yeah. So, do you want to come and tell?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, do you want to?
Sure.
Because I think this is what's really cool to me is how we got to this point. That's, I think... Okay, Steve's excited to tell you how we got to this point. He's like, yeah, let me in there. Let me in there. Okay, Steve, come on in here and tell him how we got to this point.
Okay.
This is just as much your project as it's been mine. You've been working so hard on this.
Yeah, it's been a big project.
Here, what should move this out of the way?
I'll try to get through this quickly. Because we do have, there's a link in the description that takes you to the Bliss color picking system webpage, and that has all of the, we have some videos we've already shot. There are a couple videos we still need to shoot going over this quick color picker, but everything else is already there. So the training, you can start right away. But anyway, everything, like Jennifer said, is based on the artist color wheel. That's how we started. And this artist color wheel is based on this artist color wheel. Okay, so this is a printed version that we got off of Amazon. And the reason we wanted a printed version that was kind of, that it was professionally printed, was so we could have a standard to work from. Because as you know, color is subjective, color is different. The color that you're seeing on the screen is different than somebody else who's watching it on their phone versus somebody on their tablet, PC, that kind of thing. And then if you get into printing, it gets even worse because every printer prints different and it's just a big mess. So what we thought when we started this a few years ago with the premium color scheme selectors, we thought we need a standard. And that's what this is the standard that we chose, is an artist color wheel, professionally printed, And every one of these that you buy, because we have two of them, we have a small version and this one, even they're a little bit different. So don't try to get perfect. Don't try to perfectly match everything. It'll just drive you nuts. But this is what I worked from. So we have the yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green. And as you can see, that's exactly how I set up this color wheel here. And that's the premium color scheme selector. So what you're going to do is step one when you get the Bliss color picking system is you're going to download the premium color scheme selector, which is, like I said, this here. And you will cut these out. There are videos teaching you how to use this. In fact, what we've decided to do is we have taken a workshop that we did last April, May, something like that. It was a workshop dedicated to color theory. We've made that available as part of this Bliss color picking system. It was originally only available to our Bliss partners, which is a $25 a month membership level. But we took that one little piece out. Well, it's not even little. 4 weeks, over 10 hours of video, and we've made those available. Week 1 talks about the premium color scheme selector, how to use it. It goes over every one of these wheels in detail and teaches you how to use that. So that's the premium color scheme selector. It basically teaches you the basics of the artist color wheel and these 12 colors of the artist color wheel. Premium or primary, secondary, and tertiary colors makes up 12. Okay, once you're done and you have a grasp of this premium color scheme selector, then step 2 is we included a video from the workshop that teaches you about the artist color wheel. You don't have to buy one of these, but we do encourage you to get one from Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. And it teaches you as a colorist how this wheel is useful. And I know that's a big thing because you get it and you're just like, what in the world is all this stuff? And then there's a backside.
Yes, which I was afraid to even look at for so long.
Yep. That video training is we go over every single aspect of this wheel. And by the time you're done, you're going to understand how this wheel works. And more importantly, how it can work for you as a colorist.
Right.
And then now, by the time you got through the premium color scheme selector, you got through the color wheel, now you're ready to move on to Tritone sets, because the Tritone sets are based, once again, on the color wheel. But now what we're doing is we're saying that every one of these colors that you see here is a mid-tone color, a medium
Right.
A medium color in the tritone. A tritone is a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. That's what we refer to as a tritone set. So what we're going to do now is we're going to teach you about tritone sets for each of these colors. So a light yellow, and a dark yellow. A light yellow green, a yellow green, and a dark yellow green, and so on. All the way around. 3 colors per segment here. 3 times 12 is 36. So by the time you're done, you're going to end up with 36 colors. And our idea behind these tritone sets, which I think was kind of fun, is we thought, you're starting out, especially in the beginning, we didn't have very many coloring tools.
No.
And we're going to Blick Art and we're looking at, these Copics and Prismacolors and Derwents and Faber-Castell, all these open stock tools, and we're thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice to know, if I can only afford like 36 of these, which of the 36 should I buy that are going to give me the most bang for my buck? Because if you can get a light, medium, and dark of every one of these colors, you can now pretty much get almost any color that you want. This color wheel will teach you, where does pink come from? Notice it's red. It's a light red. Anyway, it's that kind of stuff. So that's what the tritone sets are. They're saying, okay, now we understand the color wheel. Let's take it a step further. And so that's what this blank version of the Tritone worksheets is. This is just to get you started. The training is there to teach you how this works. But it basically is going to take you through. You get a color wheel. You're going to get this swatch chart, and again, we'll teach you how to pick out a light, a medium, and a dark for each of these colors. And we gave you this blank version because we want you to be able to create tritone sets for any of your coloring tools that you have. So like Jennifer says, if you have the Ohuhus and you want to know, Jennifer uses the tritones all the time.
All the time.
That's almost exclusively what she uses, like in her
right here.
In her Prismacolors.
Right here.
Oh yeah. Now that she has them organized into these tritone sets, that's almost exclusively what she goes to.
Yep, they're the shortest ones.
Yeah. These other colors, she has the full 150 set, but it's just so easy once you have them organized into tritones to just grab them and go for it. And especially when you have these other tools that we're going to show you here. And maybe what I'll do now, Jen, is just let you jump in.
Okay. And
show them what you've done, like with the Prismacolors and these tritone color schemes and all of that.
Okay. So exciting. Thank you, Steve. Wow. You can tell that we get a little excited about color around here. Okay, so you get, when you get the Bliss color picking system, you get the full color, the quick color picker system. You get the blank one that you can apply to any of your coloring tools that you have. So we wanted to make it so that this system worked for anything, whether you have the Crayolas or Ohuhus or anything. So you can use them for any tools you want. And we show you how to print this off. Everything is explained. I wanted to make sure that we didn't just hand over some worksheets and leave you alone. I didn't want that to happen. And so that's why there's so much video training. And we even take you like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. So you can either follow the steps along or skip ahead and print off exactly what you want if you're feeling confident enough to do that. It's up to you how you want to use the system. But I want you to feel confident that we have given you a lot of help so that you're not left alone. Like I was joking with Steve there just a minute ago, I bought this wheel because I wanted knowledge about color theory, but I was literally scared to look at the back of this wheel, and I didn't realize how much knowledge there was there. But it scared me. This kind of knowledge really was overwhelming and intimidating. So I didn't even look, and I didn't read half of this because it was too intimidating. But I don't want you to feel that way, and so that's why we have so much training specific to you when you start into the Bliss color picking system. So I'm so excited for you to have that training and not have to be afraid like I was afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Okay, so the next thing you get as a bonus, part of the vision too is that I know a lot of you have Prismacolor pencils. I know a lot of you have polychromos, and I know a lot of you have a lot of the same sets of tools. And so I want to make this even easier. Is it possible to make it even easier? Yes, it is. Let me show you how. So the blank ones and this system, the biggest stumbling block is that at some point you have to take your tools and find a pencil that matches blue-green. So what Steve and I have done is we went and did the work for you. Now, a long time ago, once upon a time, Steve and I went through and found light, medium, and darks for all of the 12 colors on the color wheel for Prismacolor and for polychromos. So that's been around for a while, but what we've done is taken all of those 36 colors and plugged them into this system. So let me show you what that looks like. Here is my full color version of the Prismacolor. I'm so excited to show you this. Now, I had it printed out on my favorite paper, the color pencil paper, and then once I colored it, I got it into the sheet protector. So now it's easy for me to flip through it. It's protected, and it's beautiful. It's inspiring, and it's directly refers to actual pencils, actual colors that I have. So when I go to pick my color scheme, I know I have that exact color sitting in my case waiting for me to grab and start coloring with. It's really exciting. Like, it's not just like, oh, somewhere I may have a red violet that will work. No, that red violet is right there in my case waiting for me. It's really cool. And this is why I wanted to give someone this case, because look how perfectly the tritones fit in this case. They all just a nice little bed for each little tritone to sit together. It's like a little bed. That's why I love these Global Art cases. So, and yeah, I know it sounds like I'm sponsored by Global Art. Global Art, you should call me up. We could make a deal. But no, I'm not sponsored by Global Art. Okay, let me show you how beautiful this is. All colored up. And I filmed real time me coloring this to a point. And once we hit like 6 hours or something, I turned the camera off. This took, I don't know, maybe a dozen hours for me to color this. I just sat in front of the TV and colored, and it took so long, but it was so worth it. I learned so much, and I share with you, we're going to share the real-time coloring. We're going to speed up some of it because it gets pretty repetitive, but I learned so much by doing this. You know, I thought I had a pretty good grasp of my Prismacolor pencils, and I thought I understood the color wheel and how all this works and how the color schemes work. But by the time I went through this process, I understood these color schemes in a new way, a new level. It was so amazing, so worth the time, but it was a huge project. I highly recommend it, especially, you know, pick your favorite tool and go through this process because, oh boy, it's like in-depth training, color training. So good. Okay, here's the tritones. These are the original tritones that we came up with a couple years ago. So the colors haven't changed. I kind of went through and looked at the colors to see, you know, is there a better green? Is there a better blue? And I still feel really confident about the combinations that we have, that we originally created. Still feel really good about it. So I stuck with them. The cool thing about the brand specific sets, if you haven't ever seen these, is look, every single color, name, and number is there waiting for you. You don't have to go, you know, what would be a good yellow green? I don't know. This is confusing. Nope. It's all there. Like Steve says, this is basically color by number at this point. You can just sit back, watch your favorite movie, and color by number. And that's exactly what I did. I can't remember what show I binge watched while I was doing this. I think it was the cooking one, Great British Bake Off. I think that's what I was binge watching while I was doing this. It was so lovely, relaxing, and I learned so much. I just can't tell you how fun it was. Okay, here's the light, medium, and dark tones. Autumn is coming, at least in my part of the world. Can't wait to do autumn coloring. Here's my new color wheel swatch strip. I'm going to cut this out and replace it for my old swatch strip because I'm going to do a new way of doing it. I'm going to post how I do it really soon. So watch for a video, probably Monday. I think I'm going to do that. So watch for that video to come out. I really want to show you my plan for what I'm going to do with this swatch strip. Really excited about that. Monday. Maybe I'll come live and do it. Okay, here it is, all colored with my pencils. So you just follow. All the colors are laid out here. All of them. So yellow, green, it says right there, you need 989, 912, 911. It tells you all the colors you need, and I showed you how to do it in the video, how I blended it. It's a little bit more messy, this blending, because I didn't want to like do the most perfect blending on all these pages because it was so much to do. The idea was to just get all three colors down in every square, and so you can see them all. Now yours that you download will be slightly different. Yours has... Because halfway through this project, I said, Steve, it would be really cool if... He's like, oh no, what did you want? What change do you want now, Jennifer? So what I had him add for you is, see, look, I had him add monochromatic, and we really needed it because we color monochromatic a lot. Like, I color with monochromatic a lot. I love monochromatic. So you guys get monochromatic. I didn't get it on mine. I might have him cut out a little for me and I'll color him and still stick him in mine. So yours is going to be even better than mine. So every single one, look how beautiful they are. I mean, can we just have a moment? Look at the blues and oh, it's just beautiful. I learned so much. I can't wait for you to watch the video. At the end of the video, I recorded what I learned as I did all this. It's so inspiring. Look at the reds. And those are the actual pencils. I could make a flower look exactly that color. That's so cool to me. I have these exact colors and pencils. They're right there in that kit waiting for me in that case. Isn't that cool? And then we have the full swatch chart with the names and numbers, and they have a legend at the bottom. I'll lift this up a bit. There's a legend at the bottom that marks whether it's one of the light tones, medium tones, or dark tones in the Tritone set. So if it's got a big bold border around it, I know right there that dioxazine purple hue number 132 is one of the dark tones in one of the Tritone sets. So I know right away that one is one of my main colors. And then any of them that have the dashed border around them, I know that those aren't part of the Tritone sets. So I can use those if I feel like, I wish I had an additional purpley color to fill out this purple flower I'm doing. It just needs a little more umph. So I can come to this right here and see, okay, yeah, I could use that grayed lavender. That would really give it some interesting depth. And it's not being used, I know, because of the border on there. So I'm going to go find that grayed lavender and use it. So that's why this chart is here and why it has the legend the way it does, because it's going to be even more useful to you now that it is paired with the tritones and the color schemes. It's all part of the system. It plugs your pencils into the system. So the system not only helps you pick your color schemes, but it's going to teach you why the color schemes work the way they do. Why are you drawn to certain colors? Why is that a tint? And what is a tint? And how can I use that tint to my bigger advantage? What's a complementary color, and how can I use a complementary color to make my colors and the shadows more dimensional? These are the kinds of things I'm going to teach you. It's so exciting because it comes from the perspective of a colorist. Again, that's the difference. You're getting color theory taught to you by a colorist from a colorist perspective so that you have control over your colors. You understand them, how to use them. When do I use a gray? When do I use a warm gray versus a cool gray, and why? These are the kinds of things you're going to know and understand. It's so exciting. So all of the swatches are here, laid out in front of you. You can see all the differences between the grays. They're all represented, and you even have some extra swatches in the back in case you want to swatch. Maybe you've got your Verathins, the Prismacolor Verathins, which I do. I was thinking I would swatch my Verathins in here as well. So that is the brand specific Tritone worksheets for the Prismacolor. And to make this even more exciting, I've got them for the Faber-Castell Polychromos. So I need to fill mine out for the Polychromos, and I'll put them into sheet protectors and add it to this binder when I've got that done. And can we have a drum roll, please? Because Steve and I have worked really hard, and this was painfully difficult. We have the Tritones ready for you for the Derwent Inktense pencils. Oh, the angels are singing because here they are for the first time ever seen on YouTube or anywhere. I don't know how to say that, but I'm just so excited. So I had Steve print this for me on the watercolor paper because Inktense pencils are water soluble. And oh boy, we filmed the process of me picking the Tritone colors of the Inktense pencils. And it was a chore. The Inktense pencils are problematic, shall we say? They're very problematic. So as bonuses to getting the Bliss color picking system, you're getting immediately 3 brand specific sets: the Prismacolor, the Polychromos, and the Derwent Inktense. And we want to hear from you. What other brand specific brands would you like us to create for you? So when you become a colorist or an apprentice or a partner, and you get yourself into that Bliss color picking system page, scroll to the bottom and there's a special form where we want you to submit what brand you would like us to work on for you. We have 2 brands of markers. Should we tell them which brands, or should we keep it a secret? We have 2 brands of markers that we're working on right now. Maybe we'll keep it a secret. Yeah. We'll keep it a secret. And we're going to be releasing those very soon. So probably next month. We're kind of thinking once a month. I can't promise that, but that's our goal. We're hoping to release once a month a new brand specific Tritone set, so that over the months this tool is only going to become more and more valuable. But we want to know from you what brands are most valuable to you. Now, the trick is we need brands that have a big enough selection of tools. Like if they only have 24 colors total in their set, that's going to be tricky to pick 36 colors out of 24. It's going to be pretty tricky. So what you need to think is, does that set of markers, gel pens, color pencils, does that set have enough tools to pick 36 colors out of? The next thing I want you to think about is this brand so obscure that not anyone except me owns this brand? Because we're going to kind of take a poll, and if we get a lot of you requesting the same brand and it has enough tools in that line of brand, then that's the perfect brand, and we will go and we'll put the work and the hours of labor into creating a Tritone set color picking system for that specific brand, because it takes a lot of hours. We have to plug in all the names of each of the pencils, the color name, the color number. We have to go through and pick the right light, medium, and dark for each one, and we double check, triple check under good lighting. It's a big process, and we are glad to do it for you, but we want to make sure we pick a brand that is really appealing to a lot of you. So please go in and vote on what brands you would like us to do for you, and we will definitely start working on more brands. Like I said, we already have 2 marker brands that we are working on. They are this close, ready to release. I'm so excited about them. So you can look forward to that as you come in and become a Bliss colorist or apprentice or partner. You'll be able to look forward to additional bonus brands that will be available as you get your Bliss color picking system. So I'm so excited about that we can offer that to all of you. So do we have any questions? We have, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. You get lots of videos. You get tons of downloadable content. The cool thing about this is you can print it off multiple times. So let's say you print off the Tritone worksheet and you're coloring halfway down and you realize you made a mistake. I've done that a couple times. Like you take the green colors and you accidentally put it in the blue-green section. Oh, that just made me sick. So I had to reprint the Tritone page again and start again, which I was so grateful that I could just reprint it and start again. And that's the advantage of having the access to the PDF download. You can print these and use them how you need to, and print them on different kinds of paper. Like I have the Derwent Inktense printed on water-friendly paper, so you can print some on color pencil friendly or some on marker friendly paper, and pair it up with the correct tool, and that will work really well for you moving forward as you use this tool and the color picking system. So I'm excited for you to have access to the downloadable. And then we have more plans of different things that we'll hopefully have available to you through the Bliss print shop as well. But we wanted to at least launch what we have ready for you so you can start becoming a color picking pro. So do we have any questions that I can answer?
No.
Oh, good. Wow, I must have done a good job covering it all. So, very good.
Oh, Polly just donated.
Oh, Polly, you're so sweet. You're so kind. Thank you. Oh, and I wanted to say happy, what is it that all of our Jewish friends are celebrating a holiday right now?
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, is that what it is? Happy celebrating your holiday. I hope I got the right holiday. I'm excited for you that you're celebrating a holiday right now. Thank you for your donation. Okay, so we covered all of the Prismacolor ones, the pre-colored ones, and the blank ones. What time is it? We're doing so good. I thought this would take a lot longer to cover all of the information. So let's see. Should we do a little bit of demonstrating of how to pick colors using the system? Because it's so exciting how easy this is to pick colors when you have this system in front of you. The other thing it helps you with is when you're in a color picking jam. Like let's say you were coloring something and you all of a sudden you don't know what color to color a part of the page.
Jack just donated, by the way.
Oh, Jack, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for donating. Oh, you guys are so kind. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to pull up let's look at the Prismacolor one. I worked really hard on that Prismacolor one. Let's use it, shall we? Okay, and then we can pull up the pencils and everything. So let me move this out of the way too. And let me show you how the whole color picking system comes together. So let's start by imagining you're in a color picking jam. And let's say you're coloring, let me grab a book that you may be working in. I'll show you. Let's look in here and see. Let's say we're working on this one. Here's one that I obviously started and never finished. Okay, so here we have a yellow-orange. I'd call that yellow-orange. A yellow-orange tulip with a green stem. And now I'm stumped. I don't know what color to do this part of this this tulip. And so we can use the color picking system to help us get out of a coloring jam. I was in the mood to color. I just grabbed a color and started coloring. I didn't make a plan. And now I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. Let's say that's our scenario. Okay, so I'm going to say my mother color. Mother color is a term they use for like your dominant or main color. And I'm going to teach you all about that when you get access to all of the tutorials and videos that come with the Bliss color picking system. So the mother color we'll say is this yellow-orange color. So let's go ahead and flip to the yellow-orange page and see if that page is going to help get us out of this color picking jam. Okay, here's the yellow-orange page. I'm going to put the coloring page I'm working on right next to it, okay? Well, let's see if I can get both. I wonder, do we need to zoom out just a little bit, or is it about as zoomed out as we like to go?
Yeah, let's see. A little bit.
If I go this way, is that better? Put this here. Okay, so here I am in my color picking jam. I've got a background I need to color. I've got this little edge on the flower I need to color, more on the stem, and I've got this little detailing over here that I need to. So there's a lot of color to come in with, but I know I want to keep the yellow orangey color as my dominant color. Okay, so here we are on the yellow orange page. So all of these pages, all of these color schemes are using yellow orange in some way. So I can look down here and find, let's see if we can find one that has yellow orange and sort of a green. It's kind of a yellowy green color. So here we've got a couple. We've got this Analogous color scheme, which is featuring yellow orange, yellow, and yellow green. It's nice, but it's not a lot of contrasting colors. So I feel like with all the different details I need to do, I don't know if it's going to give us enough color differences. So let's see what else it's got. Here's one here, yellow orange with yellow green. So that's our two colors we've already used. And this one's introducing violet, which that would be stunning on the edges right here, would be violet. That would be really neat. And then we could use more yellow, orange down here, and little bits of violet here. So that would be really good. So right there, that would be a perfect solution. I could just introduce violet. Let's see what else it would offer me. Here's another one with yellow green, yellow orange. This one now is suggesting red violet and blue violet as my two colors to help me get out of a color jam. So I could add either red violet up here, and then we could do blue violet in the background. That's even better because now we've got more color options where we have so much extra things to color here. So I think if I were to pick a color scheme to get me out of this color jam, I think I would pick this one, the Rectangle Tetradic number 2. I think that's the one I would pick. So right there, I've picked my color scheme, and then I would come to my book, my case here, and all the colors, all the pencils are pre-set up in the loops in their tritones. So all I would need to do now is find the red violet, which is right here, and I could pull out those 3 pencils. And there I could double check, is it 993, 995, and 931? Yep, those are the right 3 pencils. And then I would get my yellow orange, my yellow green, and my blue violet. I know they're all set up here, so it would be easy to grab all 12 pencils. And then I would be immediately coloring, and I'm out of my coloring jam, just like that. Isn't that cool? It's so cool. That just makes me happy. Okay, so let's try another scenario, shall we? Did they like that?
Adriana asked, can you explain how you would handle browns and grays in this scheme?
Okay. That is one of the big things that we discuss over in the color theory videos that we included for you when you go and start downloading all of your Bliss color picking system worksheets. We talk about where do browns come from and how do you include grays in a color scheme. When you start doing complementary colors, usually when you combine 2 complementary colors, they sort of neutralize each other, and that's usually where browns are born, is when 2 complementary colors come together. If you flip over the color wheel, the artist color wheel, and you start looking down here towards the bottom where the shades are. I even explain what a shade is compared to what a tint and a tone is. You start seeing, when you start mixing colors, see, that's what this color wheel is so good for, and I'm going to teach you all about this color wheel in one of those videos. Like here is a good example. When you add red to green, there is a bit of that strange neutralized color that's a bit of a brown. Same here, if you add blue to its complementary color, which is orange, see, there's a gray. That's where these colors come from. It's these strange color combinations, and they work so good in the shadows and adding depth and dimension. So that's where I end up usually using browns and grays, is usually in when I go in like a light, medium, and dark, and I feel like it needs just a little bit more contrast or a little bit more oomph maybe down in the darkest areas. that's where I bring in these really interesting browns and interesting grays. Of course, you use browns in like natural colored, like woods and in hair and that kind of thing. But then I usually look at that brown. So if we flip over here to the swatches, and if you start looking at the browns and really look at them, like this ochre here, this is green ochre. You know it's got a lot of green in it, but it's mostly a brown. You start looking at the browns and you start seeing this. These are really quite purpley. These are really quite red. So you kind of start understanding when you would use it. It's to add depth to something that has red. Same with the dark browns. This is really quite a lot of gray in this dark brown. So I would use it when you're trying to maybe warm up something that is kind of blackish, like cement or a really dark stone. These colors would be really interesting in those situations. So undertones are really important, and understanding the undertone of a color, especially when you get to these really complicated colors, like the French grays. What's the undertone on a French gray? Understanding the undertones will help you understand when to use them. And we go over a lot of that when we talk about color theory in those tutorials that you're going to have access to. Like we said, over 10 hours worth of tutorials that will train your eye and help you understand these colors a little bit better.
Adriana says, the reason I ask is when I'm coloring a wood object, I need a light, medium, and dark brown to color it.
Yeah, and when I do wood, I love adding strange colors into my wood. Like if you're doing the bark of a tree, I love using the greens that are up in the leaves. And so if you had like if you're using, let's say you're doing this color scheme right here, and you've got this yellow green up in the trees, but you're also coloring the green leaves, the brown trunk of a tree, you can use this green in the trunk of that tree. Excuse me. So you end up with a tree trunk that's brown, which isn't it's not really a split complementary. It's not one of these colors. But if you use a brown that has a greenish undertone and then add a little bit of your yellow green into that trunk, then that brown now feels like it belongs in that split complementary color. Does that make sense? So color is really fun that way, that you can pick the right brown and then tint it a little bit green, and now it feels like it belongs in that complementary color scheme.
Carolyn says you taught her to use chartreuse on wood.
Oh yeah. Oh, so pretty. I'm so glad. I love adding, you can like throw green into hair. Like, it's so weird how you can do that. Like, throw strange colors into hair or fur of an animal. You can throw these weird colors in and it looks right. Like, if you've got a brown that has an undertone of one of these colors, you can throw it in. Anyway, so you can use these colors in the most amazing ways and take, like if you're doing, like I said, a complementary color scheme like this, a split complementary color scheme, but you have to color a log because it's got a log in it, you can still represent these colors in that log. And it feels like it belongs in that color scheme.
Yeah, she says, I guess that's where I need to work, identifying the undertone of my brown.
And that can be so hard. We talked about that in the color theory class, how this yellow color, how hard it was for me to see yellow correctly. There's something about yellow, and purple's another one. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color, but there's something about purple that is really hard for me to see. The difference between these violets is really hard for me to see. The undertones between a red violet, a violet, and a blue violet is really hard, and it's taken a lot of time for me to train my eye to see violet in a brown. Like, that's been really hard. But once I went, this was such a good exercise to see the colors over and over, and then to be able to flip. Like, look at this.
By the way, Peggy just donated, and she says, appreciate all your hard work and sharing this.
Oh, thank you so much, Peggy. You guys are so sweet. Look at just the training of the eye of this difference. If you look at these two pages, like if you let your eyes rest, this is so cool. Let your eyes rest on the screen right now. If we take this down to just this, and let me take all other color distractions away. So let your eyes just rest on the yellow, green, and greenness of this.
There was no...
Yeah, sorry about the glare. Just ignore the gray. When you have this and you've colored it out yourself, try this. It's so cool. Okay, and then so you let your eyes rest on this, and then when you flip and let your eyes rest on this, there's something really interesting about training your eyes to see this and feel the feeling that comes off of red, orange versus the feeling that comes off of yellow, green. Can you feel the difference? Like, it's a different energy that comes off of it. Interesting how you say feel,
because it is. Color has a feeling.
There's an energy that comes off of it. We are literally attracted to these different color schemes. People say, oh, I'm not good at picking colors. I don't think that's true. I think that we all have an instinct to color. We're raised around color from the day that we're born. I think there's an instinct to it. We just don't understand why. Why is that feeling there when you look at these ones versus when you flip the page and look at this? Why is that making you feel that way? So it's really cool to go through this process and color and feel and understand the difference between a tertiary. Why does that tertiary more interesting to me versus a primary color? Like, I love tertiary colors. I talk about that too in the training. And I love tertiary colors, and they're interesting and so yummy. Where I like primary colors, don't get me wrong, they're very bold and very simple, and they're nice to color with because they're not complicated. But I love the depth and interest inside of a tertiary color. There's so much going on inside of a tertiary color. They're so dynamic and fun to work with. And so those are the kinds of things you're going to start, every time I get to a tertiary color, I really like that. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you like, that's really not interesting to me. I really like it when I'm on a primary color. Those are the ones that really speak to me. That's what I like. Then you'll start understanding that about yourself. And, it's just really exciting. Color is just so exciting.
Tweety says, I have a problem with finding the undertone in a color.
It's really hard. One of the tricks I have found is having the color standard is really, really helpful. And then being under good light, so correct light. Daylight is your best light. So if you don't have a good daylight bulb, sit at a window, like at even that is problematic. Like, for instance, our front window right now is really covered by some really beautiful green bushes. So the daylight comes through those green leaves and it's casting a green light on everything. It's beautiful, but it's not correct light anymore. Even though it's daylight, it's now yellowish green daylight. So that's not even correct light anymore. And even that correct daylight changes, right? In the morning, your daylight is one color and your evening daylight is a different color. So I really recommend getting a beautiful daylight bulb. You can get them pretty cheap at Walmart, and stick them in a light, and then you'll have a good daylight. And then you can start training your eye and put those browns. I'll show you here.
By the way, Tika just donated and says, you guys came up with a great system. Thank you for your hard work.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the system. I think you're going to love it. I'm excited for you to get your hands on it. So here we have that row of browns that I was showing you before. So if you get yourself under a good light with your color standard, your color wheel, and start looking at these colors and drag that violet around on it, you'll start to see how these ones lean towards purple. I didn't know this about colors before. Like, I didn't see it before. And like I said, certain colors are harder for my eyes to see than others. You're going to discover that as well. And maybe that's why you feel like, oh, I'm not good at picking colors. Maybe it's because there are certain colors that your eye has trouble with. Also, youth. Youth eyes truly are better at seeing color and seeing better than we do. So if you've got someone around you who is younger, you could have them sit with you and say, what color do you see? Are you seeing more red? Are you seeing more orange? Are you seeing more green? Are you seeing purple? What are you seeing? Help train my eye, because Steve's eyes see color better than my eyes, or they see color differently. So he has helped me train my eye, because he said, no, I see that as yellow more than I see it as green. And that has really helped me with training my eye, having someone sitting next to me saying, I see this more than I see that. So get your wheel, lay it next to your swatches, and start training your eye, and you can start seeing why this brownish color looks more green than it does up here in the reds, especially when you lay that color standard right next to it. You'll start seeing what we're talking about. Like this light umber, what color does it have in it? When you get into the oranges and the yellows, you start to see what's going on. Is it more blue? Oh, see, now that you start to see there might be blue in that.
That's what I was going to say, was blue.
See, he saw the blue way before I didn't. I didn't see it till I rotated it. I have to have the color wheel. I have to have something to compare it to. I can't see it till I compare.
But that's why we include all the training, because it starts to help your eye, and the more you practice.
Mm-hmm.
But, that is one of the things that we were talking about before, was that, that's why we made the system, so that if you don't want to get into all of that, you don't have to.
And that's that
if you want to and you're excited about this kind of thing, then great, dive in and learn all you can.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to and you're just like, oh, that's just a nightmare to me, then...
Yeah, if this doesn't inspire you like it inspires me, then the quick color picker is where it's at, man. This thing has everything pre-colored.
And you can even, you don't even have to print it off. You could just pull it up on your screen, on your computer, on your tablet, your phone, and just look at it on there and just...
And you're picking colors. Yeah. You pull it up on your computer. I know on my phone you can save it to save the PDF onto my phone, and I could be picking colors. That would be really helpful in a store, like if you're at Michael's or somewhere and you need to help pick colors. That would be really helpful to have these on your phone when you're at Michael's or somewhere. Just thought of that. I hadn't thought of that before. Did you hear what I was just saying?
No,
were you reading?
I was reading. If
you had this saved on your phone and you were at Michael's or somewhere and you were trying to pick colors.
Oh, yeah.
To have this there to reference, that would be great. So yeah, that's why we designed this system first, and then as I was coloring this, I said to Steve, wouldn't it be great if we had a full color version? Then if they didn't want to, or they were halfway through coloring this, but they just needed a full color one just to get them started, then they could have and Steve's like, you're right. All right, I guess we won't be launching this week either, because now we have to make a full color version. So that's why we had to keep pushing the launch back and back, because I kept wouldn't it be great if we had...
Carolyn just donated. She says, you two crazy kids are awesome.
Thank you so much. We're color crazy.
And Jackie would like to see another how to pick a color
demonstration. Let's do a demonstration. All right, so this time, instead of having a color conundrum, this was our, what if we were in a color situation and need to get out of it. Let's pick another page. Well, that one's got lots. Let's pick one where we're about to color something and we want to pick some colors. This isn't my flower coloring book. I'm like, let's not pick a flower. And then I was like, oh, I think these are all flowers. Let's do this one back here. Either that one or that one. It's so funny. I keep thinking, don't we have any that aren't flowers in here? Oh, that one's so fun. Should we do that one? Yeah. Okay. These are sort of like mums or carnations or something. Okay, so let's pretend I want to sit down and color, and I don't want to just wing it. I want to be mindful, and I have my book all. I worked really hard and made this, and I have my tritones here, and I want to pick a color scheme. So let's say, okay, and I know I've been drawn to tertiary colors, and I've really been wanting to work with blue-green. Okay, so let's flip to blue-green. And because I really want to work with blue-green. Okay, so here we have the blue-green page. I'm trying to make sure I'm in the shot. And let's put the page right here. So again, this is sort of like my mother color, or maybe not. Maybe I don't want the blue-green to be my mother color, but I want blue-green in it. I know that for sure. So I'm going to the blue-green page. Okay. So these all, there's technically 12 because you guys will have the monochromatic one featuring blue-green right there. So we have 12 to pick from here that all feature blue-green. So if we look at the page, where would I put blue-green? The blue-green could be in the flowers. It's my coloring page.
Polly says hydrangea.
Oh yeah, hydrangea. I think I just started drawing flowers on this one, and I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like this, kind of looks like that. Okay, so we've got some green here for the leaves. We've got some buds. We've got some little circle elements that could be fun, and then we'll need some color for a background. So let's see. Oh, look at how pretty that complementary color scheme is, but that's only 2 colors. And I think I want some sort of green, either a green or a yellow green in here for the greenery. So we've got a couple combinations that include green. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, red. The flowers could be red with yellow green and then blue green. Ooh, what is it about the 3 ones? I'm always, but I'm going to stretch. I want to do a 4-color one. Let's come down here. Is there enough things to color with 4? Maybe a 3 would be best. This one's really speaking to me. Again, violet. But there's no green. Okay. All right, here we go. This is a good one right here. Okay, so that helped me make my decision. So now I have 4 colors to pick from in this rectangle tetradic. So my next thing I would have to decide is my mother or dominant color. So I have yellow-green for the leaves. I have my blue-green color that I want to work with. So I would need to decide, where's the blue-green going to be? That would be a really pretty background. And
that's
then,
what Adriana
is that what she just said? That blue-green would be stunning on the background. And then red-violet and red-orange flowers. I could do, there's 5 flowers, so I could do 3 red-violet and 2 red-orange. Or I could do them all red-orange and red-violet little circles. So either way would be really pretty. But I would want to pick one dominant color. So having a blue-green background makes that pretty dominant. So it kind of depends on how I would want to run with it. So usually the best thing to do is pick your dominant color, repeat it at least a couple places so that you feel like, yep, that's dominant, and then go from there. So I think that's how I would pick that one right there. That would cover the color I want to be practicing with and stretching myself. And then I've got 2 really pretty colors for the flowers, and my greenery is covered.
Soraya was drawn to Analogous number 2.
Analogous. Oh, yeah.
And Tika was drawn to Split Complementary 1.
Yeah, that's got those pretty orange and red, and the blue-green would be really pretty on the greenery. That would be a really interesting greenery, huh? That'd be really pretty. So pretty. And remember, as you're picking your color schemes, you're not stuck. So let's say you picked this split complementary here and you got coloring on your page and you felt like, oh, I wish I had another color. You're not stuck. It's your coloring page. You get to do whatever you want. If you want to throw in another color, do it. It's your coloring page. You get to do any rules you want, right? There's no color police that are going to come and get you. This is a place to begin. This is a structure, and then you build on the structure in any way you want, in any way that inspires you. So if you pick this split complementary and then wanted to add gold or silver bling to it, then go for it. It's your coloring page. Like I said, look at this as structure and then build on it and do whatever you want with it. Okay?
Kelly and Danny really like the triadic.
The triadic, yeah. Yeah. Don't you think those two colors together are just really pretty?
Yeah.
And then that's that gold, adding a bit of gold to it. That's so pretty. Oh, I'm really being drawn to blue-green lately. I think I need to do something to get it out of my system or ingrain it even more into my system. So pretty. So, yeah.
So what about, let's say that you didn't have this all colored up.
Okay.
And you just, like you said, you're at the store, you're at Blake, you're at Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
And you bring that up on your phone.
Okay. Bring up the full
let's just
color
pretend
version.
You can use the full color version here, but let's pretend like it's on a tablet.
Okay, we'll pretend that I have my phone out and I just discovered the what's set, the Derwent. They have a new set of pencils, or it's not new. Let's say the Pro Colors. They're open stock at Blick. So let's say I go to Blick and I see they've got these Derwent Pro Colors. I can't afford the full set, but I want to try these Pro Colors. And let's say I want to buy some. So I could use the color scheme selector, the full color version, to help me pick what colors would be a good place to start. Steve kind of talked about this at the beginning. It was the original vision way back a couple years ago of why we wanted to do the tritones. I was thinking, okay, I get people asking me all the time, what colors should I buy of the Prismacolor? This was back when Prismacolors were so expensive, nobody could afford the full set, but they wanted to buy a few open stock. So I wanted to have like 36 pencils that I could tell people to buy. That's why we came up with the 36 tritones of the Prismacolor. So let's say I wanted to buy 36 Pro Colors. I could do the same thing. And I did something similar when I bought these three. I wanted to test out the Derwent Pro Colors and see if I love them and wanted to buy more. So I bought three, sort of a light, medium, and dark here, a red, orange, and yellow, so I could test them at home. So I could do the same thing. I could bring up this swatch chart right here and try to find in their open stock. You're going to find this is more difficult than you think, but they have little
it's nice
swatch.
When they have scratch paper.
Yeah, they have scratch paper just like this at their displays, and they encourage you to swatch. They won't shame you or get you in trouble to swatch. So I would swatch it and see, is that that's a pretty good right there for that main red. So then the other problem I do, I forget at Blick, is to write the number down. We start swatching things at Blick, and then you'll be like, which red did I just swatch? Because, especially if you're in front of the Copic display and that you've got like 300 markers in front of you and you've just swatched 10 reds and you can't remember which one. So just jot, okay, that was 12. So now I want to buy that one. And then, okay, let's see if this orange is close to any of them. Not really.
Yeah, it's close to the orange.
9. That's not bad, is it? So I would say, okay, that's 9. And you swatch it right there in the store, and you can start selecting. That's number 3. You can start selecting which ones you want to buy. The other thing this would help you with is you could go in and say, I've got these certain ones, but I need a better light red to go with this red. So I know I have a good red, but I don't have a good light red. So next time I go back to Blick, I need to fill out my light and dark red to go with this red. So that's another way, and you could take this on your phone and go, okay, I need something close to that tone because I know I have that one right there. So this swatch chart here could help you with that kind of process when you're in a store buying open stock pencils. Then you know you come home with a good light, medium, and dark of each of these colors. You can set up your tritones and away you go. So that would be really handy in a store. The other way, of course, is, if you know you have a certain project you're working on and you go up to the Copics and there's 300 Copics in front of you and I can't buy all 300, but I have a really pretty coloring page I want to work on and I've always wanted to Copics, so I'm going to at least buy so I can color this split complementary color scheme right here, and I'm going to try Copics once and for all. So I'm going to get a light, medium, and dark blue, a light, medium, and dark red orange, and a light, medium, and dark yellow orange, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to try Copics once and for all. And then you've got the colors you need to do that color scheme, and then you're good to go. You got a good combination. You've got 9 markers that are going to look beautiful together and they'll blend good, and you can feel confident in what you bought. So I think that'll be a really good tool for you when you're at a store or picking from random sets that you've got at home.
And then now let's say you're sitting in front of your Ohuhus or Caliarts or something like that, and you pick out a color scheme.
Okay.
How would you go about finding colors to try to match a scheme that you pick out there? So yeah, let's say you're on violet.
Okay.
You pick out your split complementary one.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this page here is going to tell me which colors to go look at. So then I'm going to flip over to the main page. In fact, probably what I want to do is stick like a sticky note because I keep having a hard time finding this page. So for my own reference on this book, I'm going to want to stick a sticky note. So then you come over here and you wanted me to do split complementary one. So then I come back over here and I know I'm going to need yellow green. I'm going to need violet and yellow orange. So then I'm going to need to go to my set of markers and find a light yellow green, a yellow green medium, and a yellow green dark. And then it's just a matter of swatching and trying to find the closest. If you've got a small set of markers or pencils, you may not be able to find 3. You may only find 2, which is still okay. It's better than just 1, which sometimes you may only find 1. Like I have a set of 24, the Kohinoors. I only have a set of 24 Kohinoor Pro colors, and so I might only find 1 yellow green that will fit the bill, and I might just have to make it work. So you just have to make those work. But in a bigger set like the Caliarts, where I have 100 Caliarts, hopefully I will be able to find 3 that will shoot for at least 2 in each of these, and then you can swatch them. Once you find them and you think, oh wow, that's a perfect yellow green, make sure you write that color down somewhere so later if you go to use it again you'll be able to find it. So you can just swatch them, quick swatches like this. You can do hopefully you've swatched all of your tools. Like if you have a full set of Caliarts like I do, I've got them swatched already, and I can set the swatch chart right next to here and look for the most comparable colors and find them and then pull them out of the kit, and away you go. Okay. So yep, that's how I would do it. I only have 24 Prismacolor markers, so I might only have like 1 yellow green in that set. So, the smaller your set, the more difficult it is to find.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you may have to double up on some colors.
Yeah, so and that's all right. It's, like I said, finding the tritones for the Derwent Inktense pencils was really difficult, and you'll be able to watch that process that I go through, and it's going to help you understand color even better as you watch me go through that process, and you'll understand better, and it'll help you as you pick your tools to match these colors. It will help a lot to see me struggle through that process and how we went through it ourselves. So, all right. So that is the Bliss color picking system. And I can't wait for all of you to get your hands on the full color picking system. So remember that you need to come on over to our website and become either a colorist or an apprentice or a partner. And any of those levels will get you access to the Bliss color picking system. Colorist is just $5 and you have access to all of it. All the hours of work that we've put into this system, all the downloadable worksheets, and over 10 hours worth of tutorial videos are all there for you. And don't forget, we have a giveaway for my favorite color pencil case. It's this one right here, only it's in orange. Let me grab it for you. They call it rose color, but it's this one right here. So we're giving this one away. I wanted to give it away when we did this launch because it's the perfect case to go along with the Bliss color picking system because it holds your pencils in the 3s. I love that. So we're giving that away. Make sure you follow the link and go enter for your chance to win this case right here in celebration of our new color picking system. And remember, if you want to order the printed version of the Quick Color Picker, this one right here, to get your order in. And if you do become a member of Bliss Booster, either a colorist, an apprentice, or a partner, you do get a discount on printed goods over at the Bliss color, the shop. Blah, 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 blah. I've been saying all the same words for the last 2 hours and my brain is going berserko. So don't forget to get your discount on the printed goods when you become a member. So yay, get out there, become a professional color picker, train your eye, and hopefully you'll get just as crazy color excited as Steve and I are. We are a little crazy with color over here. We love color. Color really inspires me and excites me. There's so much to learn, so don't get bogged down in that because I think it's something that I'm going to be learning probably for the rest of my life. There's aspects to color that is so interesting. Like Steve said, you can learn color from the perspective of a colorist, from the perspective of a painter, from the perspective of a printer. There are so many different ways to learn about color. There's color from light. There's color from paint. I mean, it's just mind-boggling the different ways to learn about color. And that is what is so exciting to me about it. The way you see color is different than the way I see color from the way my dog sees color. Isn't that cool? It's just really exciting. And so I love to teach it. I love to get people over their fear of color because I was so afraid of learning color theory for the longest time. I don't want you to ever feel afraid of it. I want you to feel in control of your color and excited to use color and experiment with it. And so that's why we made the Bliss color picking system, so that you would feel in control and excited about color. So I hope that this tool does that for you. And I hope you enjoy all the training and all the downloads. Steve is always here to help with any customer support that you need. So he's just an email away at support@coloringbliss.com. So please use that. And I hope you enjoy the new color picking system. Is there any last minute questions I can answer before we wrap up tonight?
See, Adriana asked about the Derwent video, and I'm trying to remember if I put up the video or not.
Okay, so there are a few videos that Steve is still uploading. For instance, the very long 6-hour video of me coloring the Prismacolor video. He's still uploading just a couple more videos. We didn't want to delay releasing this any longer though, so that's why we're doing it now. I would say probably 90% of all the content is there, and he's going to get the last couple elements uploaded either tonight or tomorrow, and then he's going to take what we recorded tonight and do a synopsis of it and get that on that same page as well. So there'll be probably 3 more video elements to come. So watch for those to come up onto the page when you log in and start learning and going through all the Bliss color picking system elements there. There will be a few more elements that he will add to it. So you can watch for that. I also want him to take color correct photos of all the Prismacolor pages that I have colored, so that you can see what it's going to look like when you go and do all that work to color your Prismacolor pages or your Polychromos pages. I want you to see the payoff, because that is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to you, doing that process is a lot of work, but it was so worth it. I was so glad I did it. But it was a lot of work, and my hand was really mad at me for doing all that color pencil coloring, but I learned so much. So I want him to take pictures of all that and include that on that page as well. So there's a few more elements, plus the 2 marker brands that we're going to be uploading in the next few weeks. So watch for those. So we have a lot more coming to support and give you more value to this color picking system. So you can look forward to those as well. So if you enjoyed this video, if you're excited, don't forget to hit a thumbs up before you leave the video. That helps our channel, and it helps this kind of content to be seen by more people like you. So don't forget to hit that little thumbs up. And is there any other last minute questions? Steve's checking the chat right now.
Heather says, "Hi, I'm in the UK. How can I order your book, please?"
Okay. When you become a Bliss colorist, just for $5, you'll automatically get access to all the downloads. So you can download and print it right there in the UK or Australia or wherever you happen to be. Now, if you want the printed version, it is so expensive to ship it to you, but we can do it. So you go on in and does she just check to see how much shipping costs? Is that what it will be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put that in, and
but I'm warning you, it is so expensive, and that's why we wanted to make the downloadable version a huge aspect to this, because we recognize a lot of you are outside of the US and shipping is outrageously expensive. I apologize. We keep looking for cheaper ways to do it, but we haven't found a good way to do it, and because we're a small little family business, we don't have the power of someone like Amazon or someone like that. So yeah, we can ship it to you, but it's going to be expensive, so I'm sorry. So anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Like I said, if you have any questions you think of, don't forget to just send them off to Steve at support@coloringbliss.com, and I'll probably come back as a bonus live event on Monday, where I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my swatch strip that I colored, and how I'm going to update my swatch strip in my my little coloring, my global art coloring case right here. So good luck to everybody who's entering in our giveaway, and I hope you all have a wonderful, very colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everybody.